In today's lesson, we're going to learn the absolute minimum you need to set up to get yourself up and running with LIGR.Live systems. So we're going to log into the system here. Your standard login that you receive. Of course, we need to select an organization, and I have the LIGR FC that we're going to be working in today. It presents you to the desktop, and this is a desktop that shows you the steps that you've actually performed in creating and setting up your LIGR system. It'll show you any activity, and it'll also show you are there any matches on today, and of course you can search through all the existing matches. But this is a brand new setup, so of course we need to start. And we're going to start by creating a competition. So we'll jump into that. The first thing we're going to do is select what type of sport we're doing, and we're going to look at the competition name. So the competition name, we're going to call it the Parks National League. The graphics name is the name that you'll see on the overlay. So it's going to be called Parks National League. And the age group that we're going to be looking for today in our competition is adults. Gender is mixed. The division, we're a first grade competition. And of course, we need a competition logo. So we'll jump off to the competition logo, and we will grab ourselves our assets, and I'll get our competition asset, and there it is. So we'll grab our competition asset, just have a quick check over, and there it is. So we have created ourselves a competition called the Parks National League. Here it is. I might just go back to the dashboard to show you that, of course, now we have completed step number 1, and we're going to be concentrating on step number 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8 today. We're not going to be doing players or add assets, and we'll talk about that as we go along. So the next thing is we need to create a club. Well, in essence, we need to create 2 clubs for the game that's coming up this weekend. So the first club we're going to create is going to be called the Gold Coast Tigers. I like to put the logo in first just to see what I'm looking at. So we'll go back to our assets, into our clubs, and we'll get the Gold Coast Tigers logo. Now these logos have to be a PNG with a transparency, and also 300 by 300 pixels to fit in there beautifully. If not, you'll get a bit of a message there telling you, okay, so the primary color of your asset is going to be, in this one, is going to be black, and the primary text color in this one is going to be orange. So we're just going to move this over to this dark orange. Now you could, of course, if you did have the hexadecimal values for the colors that you provide off your club, or that the club has provided to you, you can obviously stick those in. Now the venue, we need to be able to either select a venue here today from a list, a pull-down list, but of course this is a brand new setup. We don't have any venues, so we'll create a venue, the home ground. It's called the Gold Coast Football Park, and the graphic name is going to be called the Gold Coast Football Park. So that's just the abbreviation that we'll see. We have no teams yet to assign to this particular home ground, so we're just going to enter in. Now this is the Google search, so we're just going to go Gold Coast Football, and we're looking for the academy out at Ribena. So we have ourselves our venue. Now the graphics name, these are the 3 names that will appear on the overlay. The first one we can just simply copy here, and we can paste into here. That's the full name. The medium name is going to be called the Tigers. Actually, I might actually put in the Gold Coast Tigers. It has to be a little bit abbreviated. As you can see on the left-hand side, you're allowed a certain amount of characters. And here we're going to say Gold Coast Tigers here. And that's going to be the abbreviation you see on the scoreboard. So here's the information for a new club. We're going to say create that club. And that brings us to a screen where we can create a team straight away within that club. So the new team is going to be an adults team. It's going to be a first grade team, and it's going to be a male team, football team, and of course in the National League. So we're going to add that team to the club. So there we have it, our first club and our first team. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a second club to the system. And we're going to just up here, we're going to create a new club. Because this weekend, Gold Coast Tigers are playing the Newcastle Nine Tails FC. I'll bring in their logo. Their primary colour is going to be text colour of white. The primary colour of white, which is the background colour, and their text colour is going to be black. So therefore, they have the ability to be able to see the text, the black on white text. Graphics name here is going to be the Nine Tails. I'm going to call it the Newcastle Nine Tails. And it's going to call NNT, Newcastle Nine Tails. So we create that club, and then we can create a new team, an adults first grade men's football team to the Parks National League. So we actually have two clubs, each with a team. Let's go back to our dashboard and see how what we've ticked off so far. So as you can see, I've created a competition, a club, some teams, automatically created a venue, and therefore we have some activity. We still don't have any names, have any games going on down the bottom. So in essence, all I need to do now is create a match. But I do know before I create a match, I need to create a theme or select a theme. Now I'm just going to select this, make sure that this is the theme that I wanted to activate. It has already activated for me, as you can see down the bottom, the Parks National League. I could pick from the list any of the other themes, as you can see. But today I'm just going to go with that particular theme. So now we're back to the matches, and we're going to create a match. So we're going to go to the select the competition, which is the National League. We're going to make this game for, say, right now, and we're going to make it in a couple of minutes' time. So we're going to make it at 5:30 p.m. Select a home team, Gold Coast Tigers. The venue, the Gold Coast Football Club. The away team, Newcastle Nine Tails. And the scorer. Well, the scorer is going to be myself. You might have a list of scorers that you have down there. On the right-hand side is the match settings, 45 minutes and 15 minutes per half. You can select for penalty shootout or extra time if it's a cup game or some sort of finals. When you get into looking at your starting lineups, we got 11 and 7. And then, of course, the data coverage is how do you want the complexity of the overlay to look? We're just going to go with minimum. Standard will come into it when we look at adding ad sets and those sorts of things. Of course, players, haven't added any players. We don't need to add players to get up and going for the very first time. So I just saved my match. And as you can see, we have ourselves an overlay ready to go in 6 minutes time. I'm going to unclick the ad space because we haven't allocated any ads yet. The resolution, we're going to leave that at 720, which is a standard for overlay streaming. And as you can see, we have the comp, we have the home team, the away team. On the right-hand side, we have a number of things we can do. One is that we can get the overlay and copy it and put it into our production software. Today, I'm just going to put it into another tab here, and just to give you some sort of indication of how it might look as we're traveling along. Let that generate itself, and I'll come back here and I'll open the live scoring app so we can actually have a look and see what we can do within the scoring app. So I'll just log into the scoring app per se, and I'll bring the scoring app down as if it looks like a tablet or some sort of device down here on the right hand side, and I'll just position this window here to be able to see the overlay graphics as well. So here we have our overlay graphics. It's started to generate itself here. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller so we can see the whole thing. So here it is. The overlay is getting ready. You can see the countdown time, 5 minutes and 11 seconds. We're going to start the game a little bit early while we're here. So we're going to pick on the scoring app, which is on the right-hand side, emulating my tablet. I'm going to say players are entering the actual ground. As you can see, the graphics then starts to generate the introductions. Now, this big white space that you see around the outside would obviously be your camera position, camera video intake. So in here would be the game, it would be the players entering the field. We're going to start the, about to start, should I say, and we're going to have a look at how that looks. And of course, this is all the information that we just set up just then. And we're going to start the game early. It's 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go, but we're going to start the game a little bit early. So as you can see here, the clock then generates into the left-hand side. Of course, we got the CGT versus the NNT. They were the abbreviations that I put into the system. And as an example, when you're scoring, if you add a goal to the system, then the graphics will change and the goal will appear as a title overlay. And of course, it will then regenerate back into the score bug, given the certain amount of time needed to be able to adjust replays and other things that might happen in the production. So, of course, I can then, of course, add red cards, yellow cards, own goals and goals. I might just finish the first half, and you'll see that it'll just pop in with the end of the halftime. I'll say players entering and about to start the second half, and we're now into the second half. So as you can see now, the second half, 45 minutes, I told the production software, the overlay software, that we wanted to generate a 45-minute game. And we're doing just that. We'll put one goal in for the away team, and then we will end the second half. So as you can see, in the scoring app, you can have a quick look at potentially the history of all the elements that were selected during that game. And of course, the game statistics will actually generate there on the screen. So if I go back to my setup here, this is the one game. It is now saying it's finished with a 1-all scoreline. And of course, underneath that would show all of the other games. If I refresh this page, it'll move those games into the completed area and saying the live and upcoming is none. So here we are back to our dashboard. And as you can see, we are completed the steps needed for the minimum setup to get your LIGR system up and running for your first match. Join me next time to come in to show you how to enhance your production with the players and, of course, the ad sets in your production. Thank you.